welcome to Vegetology. Today we are going to be making a vegan bread stuffing. This side dish is a perfect accompaniment to the mushroom and leek pie that we did in another video, so these work really well together, and also along with the spring green and new potato salad. Be delicious. So for this stuffing, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to soften some vegan butter. I'm using this vegan block organic. I've put 60 grams into a saucepan and I've just got it on a low heat. I've actually already got it nearly melted, so that'll only take a moment for it to fully melt. I've got half of a large onion chopped up and 2 sticks of celery that have been washed and chopped. As soon as that is fully melted, these are going to be added in and we're going to let that soften for about 5 minutes. Over here, I've got some bread. Now, if you're wondering why I've got bread on a cooling rack, there is a reason. So, you want your bread to be quite dried out. So I slice this, it's just a loaf of crusty bread. I sliced this 24 hours ago and I've just had it lying out. I've had it covered in a clean tea towel, which I've just taken off. And that's so we want it to be quite dry so that it will absorb the maximum flavour. So I can hear that that butter's melted. So I'm just going to pop into my pan my onion and my celery. Okay, so while that is softening, I am going to put together some stock and some herbs. So I've got some here, some vegan stock. You want 3 healthy size teaspoons into a jug. And into that, we're going to put 3 cups of water. Now, you might not use all of this mix. That's absolutely fine. You just use until you feel that the bread has been absolutely saturated by the sauce. So I'm going to add in 3 cups of boiling water. A cup is about 250 ml. So if you'd rather put this on the scales and do it, absolutely fine. I tend to just do it by eye and know that my cups are about 250 ml. The second one wasn't quite a full cup. That is fine. Okay, so I'm going to give that a little mix. Get the dried powder dissolved. And now we're going to add to that about a teaspoon of dried parsley. Just pop it in. And we're going to also add a full sprig of rosemary chopped up. So if you just pull back on your rosemary, you should be able to take the majority of it off the stem in one go. And then you can either chop it up with a knife, or I prefer to use one of these herb choppers. I can just get it much finer. And you don't want to have huge sprigs of rosemary in between your teeth. Well, I don't. So I like to chop it up nice and fine. Okay, and then you're just going to add that into your stock. So in we go. Okay, give it all a little stir together. And as soon as our vegetables have softened, we can add this in. So the vegetables are nearly there. I'm just going to take some of this bread and just chop it up into about 1-inch chunks. Okay, so we have got our vegetables that are beautifully softened in our vegan butter, and I'm just going to add into that our stock that has got our chopped fresh rosemary and our parsley in. So all in one. Give it a little stir. You want to season it with a bit of salt and pepper. Okay, so we've got our bread that we've chopped up into about 1 to 2-inch chunks. I've got a large oven-proof dish here, and I'm just going to pop all of my bread in semi-flat layers. If you want to do this in larger pieces of bread, you can. It makes it a bit easier to chop up and distribute if you cut it into chunks though. So I've got all my bread there, a nice evenish layer. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour over this sauce. So you can just pick up the saucepan if you want. I actually find it a little bit easier to ladle it over. Try and get it nice and even spread. Okay, so we've got nearly all of it over now, and I've tried to get a nice even distribution of the veg as well, of that onion and celery. If you wanted, you could add in carrot to the mix, diced up really small, would be really nice in here as well. Okay, so this is going to go into the oven now at 170 for about 20 minutes, covered in foil. Then I'm going to take the foil off and I'm going to leave it for an additional 10 minutes just to crisp up on top. So I will show you when this comes out. Okay, so here is our vegan bread stuffing that's just come out of the oven. It smells delicious. It feels really good. I know that's a bit of a weird thing to say about stuffing, but it does. So it's just got a nice toasted bit on top from where we took the foil off for the last 10 minutes. And then it's nice, it's almost nice and doughy on the underneath. Okay, so you could serve that by itself. You could serve it alongside the really delicious vegan mushroom and leek and garlic pie. You could put it alongside our spring green salad. Put them all together, you'd have a brilliant feast. Individually, they also taste great.